Okay, so mistakes that I've made as a stylist slash entrepreneur and what I've learned from them and how I do different is how we're going to title this video, I guess. I would say the very first thing would be not to take things personal. It is very difficult in the profession that we are in. I know for myself, I'm very passionate about what I do. And so anytime anyone has an opinion that doesn't reflect mine, or anytime someone has had an experience or what have you that I know that I don't provide and I get grouped into that experience, I do take offense to that. So like for instance, there is a debate about people's pricing. Now, do I feel the need to defend my pricing? Absolutely not. However, I personally just feel like if you don't like someone's price, you should not pay them the price. I just don't understand the whole idea of complaining about it or bashing someone for what they feel is their worth. So I am still actively working on trying not to take things like that personally. Because at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with me, the person, and everything to do with how that person feels. And I am no one to negate someone's feelings. Second thing is not staying firm to my boundaries. I do believe that there are certain situations where you don't have to be so by the book. But if you are, how do I want to say this? If you are letting too many people get away with things, then there was no reason for you to have the boundary in the first place. So like for instance, I have a really strict policy on late clients. For me, the reason why that was put in place is because people will take advantage. Now, being late happens, being tardy happens. It happens to all of us. But there are some people that are so chronically late that they just feel like, okay, well, I'm late and I'm running behind and it is what it is. I'm here now, get over it. And that doesn't work because in my particular industry, you run into someone else's appointment because you took that late person. Guess what? Now that other client looks at you like you're the person that's always late. So that can be avoided. Let's see. Another thing that I used to do that I don't anymore is I used to explain myself a lot when it came to my business. For me, it's naturally a habit anyway. But for instance, I could say, I don't know, the price of weaves is going up $25 on this and this day, and this is why. People don't care. They're either gonna pay it or they're not. You explaining to them why it costs this really makes no difference to them. And if there is a client that wants to know, they will ask me. Let's see. Another mistake that I used to make was anytime that I had an issue with a client or someone did something to put a bad taste in my mouth as far as business was concerned, I would make a post about it. And it was never to necessarily like bash the client, but it was to pretty much from a place of like, okay, well, if you're doing it, that means there's other people out here that think that they can do it and get away with the same. So I'm going to nip it in the bud now. Okay, it doesn't do that. All it does is turn clients off because it comes off as you are very problematic. I know for myself, I look at other people that do the same thing that I used to do. And, you know, it's no better teacher than to see something that you used to do and you go, and then you realize that you used to do the same thing. So now you can see how that comes off. So, like I said, for myself, I could possibly say something like, oh, okay, like for instance, like with Edge Slay. I used to sell Edge Slay on pre-sale. That way, when my shipment came in, I didn't have to worry about, like, orders were already paid for, right? And so what I would get is I would do all these pre-sales, I do all this promoting, I would do all this, you know, updating everybody, and then when the product sold out, then I got this influx of people that would be asking me when the next restock was. And then I would get frustrated, and I would say, okay, why do you guys not order when I do a pre-sale or when it's in stock? Why do you wait for the product to be sold out to ask me when I'm going to restock it? Excuse me. And with that, I don't know someone else's situation. So I had to learn to look at it from a place of, these people really want my product. It didn't matter what took them so long. Maybe they needed to see more people use it. I have no idea. But, excuse me, you guys. I'm sick. Only I would get a cold or something. Anyway, so it just puts, you know, it puts a bad taste in people's mouth. Rightfully so. Because who wants to feel like if they come to someone that they could possibly be talked about? And an issue that I would run into is when I would have a dispute or disagreement with a client, they would be concerned that this would be something that would be brought to the internet. So whether my intentions were pure or they were not, it doesn't matter. You made the person feel how you made the person feel, in a nutshell. Let's see, what else? Staying too long. I've worked in a total of 2 salons that were not my own. And there were a lot of red flags, and I sensed multiple times that my clients were uncomfortable. But I was in such a place of lack at the time that I felt like, well, if I move back home, clients are not going to respect my business as much. So I stayed in these environments that were not good for myself or my clients. And I was staying loyal to businesses and people that didn't care for me at all. Let's see, what else? Do not discuss your business moves and ideas with anyone. If you need someone to talk to, send a voice message to yourself or write a journal. I really hope you guys can hear me, because I really don't feel good, so I'm really trying to give like the little energy I do got. Yeah, so I ain't heard that song in a long time. Anyway, so yeah, we get excited about things and we go, oh, I'm finna revamp my website, I'm so excited. They don't care. They don't. I've learned not to say anything to anyone until what I was planning, has already come to fruition. And there are people in the world that don't want to see you elevate. And so, you know, they will, the minute that you announce your move, they're going to go and try to one-up you so it looks like that they did it first. And truthfully, it's not really anything that you should care about, but it waters down what you were trying to do.